All right, and good evening, everyone. Thank you for taking time this evening to spend with me talking about creating a blueprint to help your business. It is my hope that by the end of tonight's session, that you feel more comfortable with marketing your business. You have a clear understanding what tasks and what elements you should uh, be investing in, where to spend your time, how to be able to see impact and reach, and essentially be how to be able to grow. Um, so before we get started, if we can ask everybody to take a moment and introduce themselves, that way I have a better understanding of the types of businesses that are here, that'll be helpful.
Um, I guess I'll start. I'm Vanessa Knight, and I do wedding photography, headshots, portrait, pretty much.
Thank you.
Good evening,
Hi.
everyone. Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chantrice McCoy. I own an event planning business. I service the DMV area, and I coordinate all types of events.
Hi, everyone. I'm Colleen Diana. I am the president of Greenheart University. We certify Black men and women in mental health advocacy and coaching. And I just launched my my fitness community called Sexy Fit, where taking care of your mental and physical health is the new sexy.
Hi, my name is Shabera Gibbs. I am a software architect in the day, and I'm also a travel agent.
Hello, my name is Latasha Harrington, and I have a business called Lucy's Lush Cups, and it is cocktails to go in mobile bartending.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Melanie Lee. I actually have several different businesses, one of which is a nonprofit organization that deals with mental illness and suicide. I also sell holistic products, which include sea moss, soursop, and other items of that nature. And lastly, I am the assistant director of a mentoring program.
Did everybody? Cool. All right, let me pull up the presentation and we can rock out. There we go. And welcome everyone to Business Marketing Blueprint. We all know and understand that marketing is the foundation of any business. Being able to understand your market and how to be able to market is extremely important, right? So you're in the right place if you want to understand the difference between marketing versus branding versus advertising. You're looking to build your marketing strategy because you don't know what it is you should be doing. You're unsure about how to attract new clients, what tasks you should be working on. You're unsure about who your ideal client is. You want to be more visible from a business, like you feel as though you're not visible, you're not getting enough reach. You don't have a clear understanding of what tools you should get or what to invest in. Or if you just want to get away from your kids for 45 minutes and have a quiet spot, like this is your time in order to be able to grow and handle all of those things and more. So a little bit about me. My name is Austin Hill, and I'll be your instructor today. My full-time job is I am a Director of Strategic Partnerships at Harvard Community College, so I'm in business development. I've been doing content creation for about 4 years now. Really took off during the pandemic, being able to help solve and create solutions for business owners such as yourselves for things that you may be struggling with. I'm married, my wife Brittany. I have a daughter Corey, and as of Monday this week, we have a new addition of Ace, our new dog. So from a marketing standpoint, one of the questions we ask is, am I really marketing? So the question I have for everybody in attendance this evening is, how do you typically market, and what strategies are you using on a regular basis in order to market your business?
So I use social media and I do some ads as well on Facebook and Instagram. I just jumped on TikTok. I didn't want to get on there, but I'm gonna start promoting on there as well. So that's how I market currently.
I pretty much use Instagram. I'm not that good of marketing, but I work full-time at MedStar Health and part-time at University of Maryland. So that is where the most of my clients come from, is usually word of mouth. And
Word of
then,
mouth?
yep.
Okay.
So I'm on Instagram. I also kind of inherited a client list from attending a show.
Nice.
So a lot of email distribution, because I understand that you don't own your, you don't own your stuff on Instagram or your clients. So I inherited that list. So a lot of email promotion and a lot of word of mouth.
So when you guys say that you're advertising on social media, what task are you doing outside of just posting?
Running
for me,
ads.
I haven't ran any ads.
Okay, so
I've
some
been
run
trying,
ads.
yeah, I've been trying to keep with the 80-20, like 80% like free content and 20% like advertised, but I don't know if that's right. Also
So
like
you're running
following
ads?
people.
You're running a paid ad, Shabir?
No, I didn't say that. I think someone else said paid ads.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who said they're running paid ads? I'm sorry.
I do.
Okay. Okay.
So I do them occasionally. I don't do them a whole lot, probably like I should, but I'll run an ad maybe once a month or every 2 months.
How
A
are you
lot of my business
segmenting your
come from word of mouth.
How are you segmenting your audience?
So how I did it, I just I do an age group, and then I will target like people interested in arts and entertainment, or events, and then it'll just generate. It's already like pre-programmed on there, and I just select the audience, and then I'll set a budget like $10 for 3 days, or $20, 4 days or something like that.
Which form of advertisement are you doing? Are you doing get messages, a website? What are you doing?
So I'll do it to get profile visits or messages, like DMs.
Okay. Are you seeing
I don't
messages?
set it to my website. Yes. So when I do the messages, I might get like 2 messages, maybe 3.
Mhm.
I do get more followers when I do it. I might get like 5 or 10 new followers. It depends on
Good.
the ad I'm running.
Good. Good.
Some of them don't generate. I notice like some of them don't generate. It depends on what I'm posting. One of them I did. I got like 50 new followers. From just that one ad. I didn't get no DMs, but I got like a whole lot of followers.
Which is good. Which is good. Which is really good. And I'll talk about why that's so good. That's really good.
Okay. So me, basically mine is word of mouth. And when I do events, a lot of times they're just that connection with the client and meeting other event planners. Typically I will get my referrals from there. I'll refer people to my website. I try the social media. I'm not that great, and I'm told you need to post something at least every day. I may post something once a month or something like that. So that really doesn't help a lot. But the majority of my clientele, it comes from word of mouth, giving out cards, referring them to my website, or I have gone to a show and I've gotten that interaction with the client has
Good.
done pretty good.
Good. Good. All right, perfect. All right, so branding versus marketing versus advertising, right? So in business, you typically focus on two of these elements, right? Like every business is going to focus on two of them, but not all three, realizing that all three have a very specific and special place in your business, right? So with branding, branding are the elements and things that people can recognize about your business, right? So, with McDonald's, you have Target. I mean, with McDonald's, you have the M. Like whenever you drive in 95 somewhere, you see the golden arches, like that's McDonald's. With Bullseye, that's Target. Like anytime you see a red bullseye somewhere, that's Target. The swoosh or the Nike check, like that's Nike, what they're about. And ways that you can establish within your business is having your branding photos, like a concise look with something that you do. Your logo or signature, right? Like, so incorporating your logo or signature consistently in all the elements of your business. Having a signature activity, like some kind of event that you're known for, that people look forward to. So like I've had the pleasure of with Killeen Diana covering her Green Heart University annual gala. Like, it was a signature event. She packs it out, hotel, year in and year out, because that's a signature event that people look forward to, that she's been able to network and capture people from, right? From a marketing standpoint, that's the actual activity that you're doing in order to promote your business. So, with Bath and Body Works, everybody gets caught, not Bath and Body Works, yeah, Bath and Body Works. Candle days, right? Like every so often they advertising the candle days and stuff like that. People looking forward to it. Booklets and magazine features. So like if you've been, you find a local magazine or some kind of place to put like print advertisement in, it's great because you're able to market your business that way. Or trying to find some kind of feature. At one point in time, it was really big with the Voyage with Baltimore. If you're able to get that feature, you can then get some backlinks from it in order to help promote your business. That was really good. And then door hangers. Some businesses, depending upon the community that you're in, you can actually utilize door hangers. Some other ways that you can market, you can go on a network, go to 10 networking events, doing videos and reels to help like your social interaction. You can look to sponsor events and activities, especially like the back to school events. There are a lot of things going on. So you might, donate or volunteer your time or something to be able to give out at these events, or create like a digital guide that somebody can take away. And I'll show you all some of those examples, digital guides later on this evening. And then you have your advertising. So we talked about some paid advertisement like Google Ads. You can do a business card like in a dance recital booklet or location. You can run a commercial on Facebook or Instagram. There are so many different options that you have. But the number one question I have is does everyone understand the key difference between marketing and advertising?
I think so.
What do you think the key difference is? And yes, marketing can be advertising, but advertising is not necessarily going to be. Go ahead.
I have a question, Austin.
Go ahead.
Do you think branding is important now? Like, do you think it's a requirement?
Absolutely, absolutely, 1,000%. 1,000%.
In the beginning or
Absolutely.
progressive?
Absolutely. I mean, your brand can change, right? Like brands change over time, all the time, right? Like even the brands that you're looking at and seeing right now, like pandemic hit, and every single brand that you see up there has changed, like from McDonald's, right? So while the Golden Arch is always a staple, people used to go into McDonald's to interact with people. And growing up, you might know a lot of teenagers that had McDonald's jobs. Now, the one up the street from me in Belcamp, they have the kiosks. Like they might have one or two people in there running down food, but you can't be a cashier at McDonald's anymore. So that the brand of growing up as a McDonald's cashier and having that job, that element of the brand has changed down to like the shirts that they have. Like I think back in the day they might have had like red polos, but now like they have like the teal blue, like depending upon where you are. So like elements like that can change, but establishing certain things early on and being consistent is great. Like, so even if you don't have a logo, having a signature, because everything that you're putting out there can be consistent because of the signature.
Okay, that makes sense. Thanks.
So with the question, what is different, the key difference between marketing and advertising?
I'm gonna take a guess.
Does,
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say one doesn't cost, one is not costly, I guess.
So that's one element. Having something that costs is one element, but that's not necessarily the only thing.
What I was gonna say is, it seemed like marketing is more of things that you do yourself to kind of bring people, draw attention to your business. The advertising is to reach a larger population of maybe people, you know, I don't really know, whatever. I'm not sure.
I think both you want to reach somebody, but I think you kind of hinted at it though.
That,
The main difference is the intention behind it, right? So every day that you're out and about, like every time, you know, majority of the time you see me out doing a gig or something like that, you're going to see me in this pole, right? One, it's easy. Like for some reason I'm weird. I like uniforms. I like knowing what I'm going to put on. I don't have to fuss in the big, go in my closet and say, oh, I want to put this on, put that on. I have a clear intention. You're going to see me in black polo, some khakis, and probably some black sneakers, something like that. Like, so, but you're going to see this from a brand and marketing standpoint because I'm always constantly advertising my business, right? But from an advertisement standpoint, if I'm running an ad, I have a clear call to action. What do I want people to do? Do I want people to go to my website? Do I want people to, as Shantrese said earlier, do I want them to like my page? I want them to like my page and follow it so that I then can activate them and then run an ad later on because they're now engaged with my page. Do I want them to give a feedback? So like the other day, you know, when I ran a Facebook ad, I had my website linked and I allowed people to be able to book their sessions and made it easy, you know, because that was the intention. But I've also ran a Facebook ad with just the intention of getting people just on my wedding page. Like I wasn't looking for them to book. Like I know that, you know, they had to have a follow-up meeting and a Zoom call or whatever it may be. So, you know, it was important to be able to have that what the clear intention is early on, so you know what the end goal is going to be. When you're creating those branding elements, first thing is you need to know your colors. Like you can't say your colors are black and gold. You need to know your hex colors. Your hex colors is going to be a 5-letter number combination. Because if you say my colors are black and gold, there's about 30 different blacks and 30 different golds. Website that you can use in order to do that is colors.com, COOLORS.co. You go on that website, there will be a hex color code generator. It'll help you match up colors that work well together. You can put in certain hex colors to see what does and what doesn't go together. And then by the end of it, you can have your brand colors consistently there. You can screenshot it, print it out to be able to give to said company to help market and push your brand forward. Next, you need to develop a logo and signature. It helps with the consistency. If you make a post, you can have those elements there. And then from a how do I do that standpoint, you can make it on Canva. There are plenty of free templates in Canva. I actually don't like the free templates that much, only because you spend so much time searching. You can just go on Etsy, which is one of my favorite websites to go on, and then be able to specifically type something in. So, you know, if it's a event planner signature, like I can type in event planner signature Canva on Etsy, and it'll give me templates for event planner signatures or photography signatures. That way, you know, when you're trading off, I'm either going to trade off time or trade off money. You know, sometimes, you know, for $5, I'd rather just buy a template, know exactly what it is I want to do, and I have to search for an hour and a half to try to find a template. Or you can go on Fiverr. Fiverr, you can get a signature for like a logo, like a whole signature kit for like $25, which is really good. Just when you do it, make sure you get a transparent PNG file. That way, transparent PNG file means there's no background. You can put it on any kind of graphic without having like remove the background. And then images. Having quality images is key because you're able to place those images anywhere. Sometimes you might get asked to be a speaker, share something, and might ask for a photo. So make sure that you all have quality images to be able to share. And your business should be able to tell a story. So back to Shavira's earlier question, is branding important? Yes, it is. Why? Because it helps to tell a story. People buy from who they like, know, and trust. Having those consistent things allows for people to know who you are, build a connection with you, and then be able to trust you. And then, thought I'd change this, but when you post, you want to make sure that you're telling a story. So not necessarily, from a realtor standpoint, talking about issues for buyers and sellers, but you can talk about issues within your overall business, right? So if you're event planning, talk about the pain points of not having an event plan, especially like if you're a wedding. I mean, Vanessa, this is something you could probably agree with time and time again. You go to a wedding, the wedding doesn't have an event planner, so then you got to turn to the event planner. And then if something doesn't go right, they're blaming you because they didn't get this photo or that photo. So, Chantrese talking about why not having an event planner is so painful and end up costing you is important. From a travel agency standpoint with Shavira, talking about, while yes, people can go on Google to search things, it's one more thing for somebody to have to be able to do. Like if you can give me options on where to go, where to stay, and I get to choose between two options and then just pay somebody, like that's great. That on top of some travel agencies have payment plans. Let's say I don't have the money all right now, but I know I'm going to next month because I'm about to book another wedding and get a deposit. Well, I'd rather book through a travel agency and give a deposit, lock in that special rate instead of paying out of pocket. So explain some of the benefits of being a travel agent. Like talk about those pain points that people have. Can you wait? Can you wait a month to book this ticket? Or is it going to cost you? Like, what is the time value of money? Is it going to cost me $200 to wait? Or can I save the $200 and not have it really impact you? I think I saw somebody with their hand up.
That was me, Austin. Sorry.
Okay.
I had a question about the signature. It was the previous slide. I should just. So I have a logo, of course, but signature, what you mean? Like far as my name or just like EBS events outside of the logo?
So legit, a signature is really just like your name, like in signature format, right? So like one could say like my logo is technically like a signature. Like it's something, it doesn't have a lot of brand colors, doesn't have a lot of backing, it's extremely simple. So a logos a lot of times have colors embedded in them and different features that are embedded in them that make it more difficult to be able to post. Having a signature is more simple.
Okay, got it. So I need a signature too.
I mean, it's the same business name, but it's something that's simple. Let's say you want to get a polo done. To get a polo done with, I remember some person said, "Oh, I had this logo design. It's great. It has 8 colors in it, and blah blah blah. Like this is great." And I said, "Yo, this is dope." I said, "But you'll never get it printed." Like, what do you mean? And I said, "Have you talked to an embroiderer to find out what it's going to cost you to do an 8 shaded logo on a polo?" Like these are little things that people a lot of times don't think about, right? But if you're going out, you're going to want a polo because one, you don't want to dress up and you want something that's simple, that looks professional. Well, this is where a signature comes in.
That makes sense because I always have trouble printing my logo on t-shirts. They always give me
Why? Because you have so many colors?
No, it's just so detailed, like the balloons, they always say they can't print the balloons or the line work
See?
is too thin or something.
See, that's why having a signature would be beneficial. So your logo would go on advertisement, your signature would go on printed stuff.
Makes sense. Thank you.
Is there a, I don't know if that's too specific, but is there a weight or anything that you suggest for the signature?
Oh,
Like
wait.
the weight of the line, like the weight of the
No.
line, because sometimes they say it's too thin. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like sometimes even in a signature, the line is too thin.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I don't have that information. I think that's probably like vendor to
Okay.
vendor. But I mean,
Oh, okay.
you know, having that source file allows you to add weight, you know, potentially to it.
Okay.
So talking about the foundations of marketing, you know, everybody pretty much hit on it earlier about, you know, word of mouth and referrals, the number one form of marketing in business. Looking to connect with people who are influential is important, you know, so living outside of your bubble, you know, finding those people who have larger networks, finding out ways to be beneficial to them so that they bring you around is very important. Encouraging people to leave Google reviews, because when people leave Google reviews, it helps you become more visible and more people can see what it is that you're doing. And if you're a business who's just starting out, you're like, hey, Austin, like I haven't done a lot of business, I don't have a lot of reviews, then having pop-up things or, you know, very intended events like today, right? So one of the things I might ask, like in a follow-up email, is if what I did today was helpful, consider leaving a Google review speaking about how I was able to help you with whatever service it is, right? So it doesn't necessarily have to be about photos. It can just be about Austin was very helpful when he helped me with my marketing plan, blah, blah, blah. But those trigger words will then in turn be able to help you become more searchable in SEO and then more beneficial to your business. And then everybody already said that they're already doing posting on a regular basis. So continuing with those social media postings, you know, so that's great. Go ahead. Vanessa.
Posting.
Say one time.
How often should we be posting? Because I suck at posting.
I would say
post,
I would say 3 times a week.
Oh my God.
I would say
Oh,
3
wow.
times a week. At a minimum 2. And here's the thing: if you don't post, the damage is greater than if you post something that you feel as though is not great. And the reason is because you need people to interact. Like I had a client, right? I had a client and we actually just ended our service agreement. And I told him before he signed up, I told him, I said, if you're not going to interact on your page and do stuff, you are just giving me money for no reason. You have to interact. So he's only getting like 1 like and 2 likes a day. Why? Because he's not interacting. Like the social media platforms are smart. They're not going to promote your stuff if you're not interacting, if you're not doing anything.
When you say interacting, do you mean like when
Likes,
somebody comments?
Comment, no, not even comments, likes, you messaging people, you interacting with people.
Okay.
Like these platforms know every time you log in, every time you pick up and use their app, they know. And if you're just using like an auto poster and you're not interacting, then they're not dumb. They're like, all right, like you ain't gonna get in front of anybody.
So I have a question. So
Sure.
does it make sense to, if you're not somebody who really know how to do all the social media posting, not tech savvy like that, do you recommend hiring an SEO person to do that?
No, because if you don't have the foundation, it's gonna be pointless.
Hmm,
You're gonna be throwing money at something.
okay.
And that's SEO is finicky, right? Because with SEO, you have to have somewhere for it to point back to. If you don't have a social media platform, if you don't have the time to make the content there, 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna have time to make blog posts. You're not gonna have time to make YouTube videos. So where are they gonna find the content at? And Google is smart enough to know if it's fake content. So like you could pay somebody to make stuff for you and post. Like So here's the thing, like I use Planoly to post every day. Like I'm not sitting on my phone, like making stuff like at 3 o'clock to post at 3:05. Like I'm making stuff like late at night. Like tonight I'm probably out making content, doing stuff, put it in the scheduler and then auto post and then be done.
I've heard people say that you have to, it's some kind of algorithm that you follow when you're doing social media, specific times of day that you should post. Is that true? How do you feel about that?
Yes and no. It all depends upon your client base. All depends upon when you're free. I don't follow that because I have people liking stuff from all different times. But I think just getting in the habit of posting is half the battle. Because a lot of people have analysis paralysis, meaning like they overanalyze what they're going to put out there to the point where they don't put anything out there at all, right? Like, and like my mother, she gets on me every day. Like, she'll go on my page and like, oh, you misspelled this word. I'm like, all right, that's great. I said, but I got 50-something people in a lead. Like, if I spent the time to read, now don't get me wrong, like misspelling something, I'm not saying it's not big, but if I sat there and let that, like, oh my gosh, I misspelled a word. I'm not going to post anything ever again. Like, how can I be so embarrassed? Like, I'll miss so much other business. So it's like, yeah, like you're aware of it, but you keep shooting. Like you just keep making content, you keep doing something. So everybody in here at a minimum needs to have, if they don't already have, a Google My Business page, right? And what is it? It's the ability to share and showcase your business on the largest search engine, right? So Google My Business has a larger reach, is extremely valuable for business owners. You can have Google reviews. Having Google reviews is great. It also helps with your overall search. It makes people easily be able to contact you because you can embed your email address. You can embed like your contact phone number information, your website, so on and so forth. And then you can leverage content on there as well, because you can post on Google My Business every week. Not that people like search it like they search Instagram, but it's able to be more visible as well. When you set up an account, you may make sure you have an address and make sure the address is not like your name, right? So a lot of people have what are called mailing addresses, not necessarily a P.O. box, but some kind of physical location that they can have. You actually can't set up a Google My Business with a P.O. box because Google My Business will actually mail something to you to verify the location. So that's something that definitely look into. If you need to use your home address, that's great. But if you can get a mailer address, that's probably even better. With your images, you can also use alt text. For those who don't know what alt text is, it's alternative text. It just describes what it is somebody's looking at. So if it says, if you're a planner and you say like golden table wedding setup, somebody says like, hey, I'm looking for a wedding setup that use golden tables. Well, there you go. The alt text is then sharing and showing what is somebody may be looking for. So client experience gigs, right? So this goes into like each one of us, while we don't like doing free work, having these client experience gigs are important in that you get to see people interact with your business, find out what's important, be able to get reviews and help show and showcase what it is that you're doing. So this for me was an example of a client experience gig I did. It was a networking event that featured over 400 people in the real estate industry. Well, my niche is realtor and real estate branding, photography, right? So I volunteered my service in turn for being able to create a banner logo that also featured my business name. So everybody who got a photo also got a photo from the event, got a photo with my my brand information. So they post on social media. Now my information is there and then shared in front of a larger group set. So that was more beneficial than getting probably paid for a gig because the reach is a lot further. So with client experience gigs, you want to find things that are going to build your email list or text message list. So, you know, if you're doing like a back to school night and you're sponsoring something, you know, you're sponsoring a gift card for a $25 gift card to Target, something of that nature. Like you're building the contact information so that you can follow with people later on. Before you run any ads, you need to do the following things. You need to one, set up your analytics on your page. Why? Because you need to understand the data and data sets like behind what is it you're doing. You know, running ads and not understanding your data set is just a waste of money. Like you shouldn't do that. You know, you need to be able to attach the Google Analytics and Facebook Pixel to your page. The Google Analytics will help show you when people are going on your page and how they're connecting. The Facebook Pixel will allow people to reposition information to them after they've left your page. So time anybody goes to my page, I have a Facebook Pixel on there. When I run an ad, I can run an ad specifically for people who went on my website within the last 30 days. And it'll show content and share content with them. You want to create a landing page. Websites are great, but sometimes, especially coming from social media, you know, if people have to search for information that they have or they're looking for, they'll just get lost and get off of it. So creating a landing page is very good. When you have the ability to, I would actually tell you to move away from link in my bio and actually build that same page with that same information on your actual website. It's not difficult to do. You just build a non-listed page that says link in my bio. And the reason why is because you can then gauge the Google Analytics from it. You know, and I can show you all later on, like after I finish presentation, but I can gauge how well my link in bio page is working because it's built into my actual website. You want to build foundational content because you can reposition stuff based upon your foundational content. So that's building your reels, your video content and things of that nature on your page. And then you want to constantly talk about a very specific topic. And I'll show you all why you want to talk about a specific topic on your videos. And then you want to have a strong call to action and things to offer. So yes, you are, you know, mental health advocacy, but what is your call to action? Are you calling for people to join your Facebook group? Are you calling for people to attend the session you have? Are you calling for people to engage with a mental health counselor? Like, what are you calling for people to do? It's not just good enough just to be able to post. So a lot of people will say, Austin, I ran Facebook ads recently and it hasn't been able to yield any results. There's a reason why. It's probably one of these three things, right? One, your audience stinks. A lot of people will make an ad off of a boosted post and not understand why it's not doing well. It's because there's no intended audience. Like Facebook and Instagram are very good at what they do. But if you don't tell them what to do, then they're not going to do anything. Like, yeah, I have this running joke and I'll probably get in trouble for it. But like, if my wife, she wants me to do something specific, like I say, tell me specifically what you want me to do. Because if you don't tell me what you want me to do, then I'm going to avoid probably the right thing to do because you didn't tell me what you wanted to do, right? You left it open-ended. So the same thing with business. Like if you don't tell Facebook to get in front of this demographic because that's who you're advertising to, it's not going to do that. So I think that's important. And then you can narrow that down based upon your foundational content. And I'll show you guys what I mean. You don't spend enough. A lot of people say like, oh, I'm running ads for $3 a day and $5 a day. Well, you're not getting in front of anybody. Like if you run an ads for $3 and $5 a day, you know, I would save it. Or save your money up until you can run at least $10 a day for an ad. You're not going to get the desirable outcome that you're looking for. Or you lack a call to action. You have a pretty decor, right? So like I would say, like Chantree, she does amazing stuff, right? But if there's no call to action there, like people are just gonna say, oh, this is a very pretty picture. Oh, that's great. But if there's no call to action, like, hey, if you're getting married, brides, I would love to talk to you. Brides, contact me here so we can schedule a consultation. So if I'm looking at the ad, I'm like, oh shoot, I got a bride. Let me send my bride this and say, hey, here's the link. Contact her. Her stuff is really good. You know, if all I see is a pretty picture, and people will say like, oh, you know, well, I figured they would want to just do that. Like, no, like people don't automatically associate, calling with seeing something that they like. Like they have to be told what to do. Marketing is majority psychological. You have to guide people in the direction you want them to go.
I have a question, Austin.
Yes.
With you saying that, does it matter if I physically say that on the ad, like talking, or does it matter if I like print it, like, hey, call me, for this, being as somebody I don't like being in the
So
camera.
in the actual ad, you always have the button on the ad. It'll say, contact us, learn more, schedule. Like, where are you taking them to do something?
Oh,
Right?
so that counts towards what you're saying?
Yeah, it had to have a call to action. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So like some people will say learn more and then they'll click something and there's nothing to learn.
Oh,
You see what I'm saying? Like, so for yours, learn more wouldn't be good. Like schedule a call today would be good. And then connecting it with a scheduling calendar so that all I have to do is click that, pick the date and time I want to meet with you, and then book my session and then go about my business.
oh.
But if I gotta click that to go to your web page, and then I gotta scroll to find your about page, then I gotta scroll to do that, I'm done. Like I'm gonna go to something else.
That makes sense.
And this is actually like my ad spend, right? So last 2 months, we spent about $250 on Facebook ads. This is probably one of my biggest ads to date. Like, so almost reached 12,000 people. I spent about $100 on this ad. I ended up getting roughly 15 bookings, like plus tip. I ended up making over $2,000 off this ad. So it's a 20-to-1 scale based on that. But I was very intentional in where I led people to. It led from clicking on this to my actual scheduling link on my website. So that it made it easy for people with the call to action. And then these are ways that people advertise: Facebook, Google, making local ads. Like if you say, also, I'm not ready to do Facebook ads, find a local business, get a printout that you can make off of Canva, make a QR code, have them be able to scan the information and have it lead to somewhere. So, if you have a QR code to your scheduling link to a consultation to learn more, scheduling link to go to a Facebook group or Facebook page to learn more, wherever it may be, like having that intentional information is important. All right, tools you should invest in. So, number one, necessary purchases. I would tell you to invest in, if you're a realtor, invest in Etsy guy, but I'll tell you go on Etsy just in general, anyway, right? Because Etsy has a lot of great things as far as templates, like for event planners, everything. Like you can make everything off of Etsy and then build it in Canva. I would tell you get a gimbal or a stabilizer. Not necessarily have to be that. It can be like my new favorite thing that I purchased. Yeah, it gets here. Is this tripod? You see how big the tripod? Oh, 6 feet tall. So it's almost dang near touching the ceiling. But also inside of it, there's a little clicker. And the clicker connects to my cell phone so I can record the video. Like the other day, if you go on any of my social media, if you go on my social media page, you will see a video that I posted that we made just the other night. And that video was made with this tripod. I set it up. I then sat down on my patio and just recorded it by hitting the button. You too can do the same thing. Like if you're somewhere and you have opportunity to make some content, you can do some off guard stuff, photos, videos, and just travel this like in your car, in your bag, and then it's easy to travel with. Video lights. Lighting is half the battle. A lot of people don't realize how important video lighting is to making content. You don't necessarily have to hire like a videographer or somebody to do it. Like you can make quality video content if it's well lit. So definitely invest in video lights. You can get lights off of Amazon for like $40 if you need like some starter lights. Let me know. I'll find some to recommend you. And then lapel mics. Lapel mics are great, so you can have clear audio. Once again, I have trying to see. Probably in my bag somewhere. Somewhere. I'll send everybody a link. One of my bags, but yeah, lapel mics, they go right on, they plug in the bottom of your phone. Yeah, oh my gosh. Plug in the bottom of your phone, it just helps you to have really clear audio. Necessary tasks. You need to plan or try to have some kind of bi-monthly event. People book from people that seem busy. So even if it's you, I would never do something necessarily at a loss, but if your investment makes sense, people book from people that are busy. So the more busy that you can see, the more that you put your business out there, the more beneficial it is going to be. There are countless gigs that I'll take for either below my rate or a limited rate. Like I just get enough just to advertise and be able to promote it. But I'm very intentional in what I do, in that there's an end goal. So having some kind of event every 2 months so that you stay on the top of fold and you stay busy is very important. You want to create video content, right? So video is king. Video actually has 4 times the conversion rate. So you want to make sure that you're putting out enough video content on regular, and that can be reels or any kind of video content. You want to make sure you have your foundational content to be able to pull from. There's data associated with that foundational content that you can benefit from. So you want to make sure that you have it. And then when you have enough time, you want to make blog posts. Blog posts are great because people search different topics associated with your industry, and you can make a blog post that answers those foundational questions. And then necessary investments, you want to have a domain name. If you don't have a website, I would definitely tell you to get a website soon. You want to have a hard drive so you can store and save information. You want to have the logo signature we talked about, and then you want to design a website.
Austin, I have a question.
What's up?
So as far as the videos, so I post a lot of my fitness videos, but does that suffice for like the reels and stuff, or should I have a call to action
Eventually you should have a call to action, but I think your video content should specifically speak to certain actions, right? So if you're doing fitness content, it should be upper body workout, right? Because then you'll be able to determine people who are watching this video for upper body workout or lower body workout. When you run an ad, it can be specific to upper body workout, lower body workout.
Okay.
So your blueprint. So with your blueprint, by Sunday, I'm encouraging everybody to set up their Google My Business page. Like at a minimum, if you don't do anything else, I would do that. Next, I would make some foundational content. I would begin to search to find that foundational content. You can do that by using like your ChatGPTs and saying things like, what are the top 10 things people are searching about with fitness? And they'll give you 10 topics, and you make 10 posts or 10 videos around that. You want to set up a website and your Google Analytics so you can start tracking that data and information. You want to create your call to action, whether your call to action is to learn more, visit more. Like if it's learn more, you got to create a page that people can learn more about your information. If it's the schedule, you have to create a landing page so people can do a scheduler with you. Like you have to make it simple for people. And then once you've done all these other things, then you can look to try to run an ad. Now, this timeline, don't get me wrong, it can be sped up, it can be faster. But at a minimum, this is what you should be looking to do.
I have a question.
What's up?
Hashtags, does that work?
Absolutely. Searchability is SEO.
Okay.
All right. So from an analytics standpoint, here's why I say your link in bio is important. So like for myself, ran an ad. Here's my link in bio page from my actual website. It's up 1,400%. Right? Over the last 7 days, it's up 1,400%. And people, from a search standpoint, a session, people are directly coming to my website from a direct link. 60 people in the last 7 days have come to my website off of my social media search. 14 people were referred by some other like link or something else, organic search, people like typing into Google, like real estate photographer, wedding photographer, whatever it may be. But I can track this information of the Google Analytics to then determine where I'm going to spend my money, where I'm going to position my time, my content information, right? So that's the first form of analytics. Your second form of analytics, and I'm going to use Planoly, is, and whoever I'm signed into is going to be who we're working on. Message. Oh, it might be each article. So we said we're talking with marketing, you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody, right? So I can actually determine who my target audience is, and Instagram's going to tell me. 60% of the people who interact with me are female. So a majority of the content I put out is going to be female intended. From there, majority of my client base is 25 to 44. So the material I'm going to put out is going to speak to, and people are going to look like they're 25 to 44 years of age. And then, I guess it didn't update, but activity, they also say like where they're spending their time and what they're doing afterwards too. So having this data information is important because it then tells you what it is that you need to do, right? So that's why that foundational content is important. But it's also important because of like your ads, right? So in here, when we talk about making an audience, this audience that I'm making is for wedding videos, right? So I'm making people who interact with wedding videos. Here's a reel that I made specifically for a wedding reel. 1,000 people interacted. From here, I can make an ad with 1,000 people who interacted that watched the video at least 75% or more. And then in turn, I'm going to run an ad specifically geared towards them. But I can do that because I did the foundation of 1, having my foundational content. 2, sending people to do a like on my page and follow my page. 3, constantly in posting so I show up in people's feeds so that they can see this content. So 4, now I can run an ad to then capture them and give them a call to action, which is going to my website. So that's why these things are so important and important in phases. If I jumped and ran an ad before I did the foundational content, then I won't know who I'm talking to.
I have another question. Sorry.
What's up? Yep, what's up?
Does it matter? So I don't update my website like I should. Does it matter if your website is not completely up to date?
I mean, it depends. I mean, have your prices changed? Have elements like key elements of things changed?
No, so I don't include pricing on my
Okay. Well then no. But I mean, I would at least try to update your website at least every 6 months.
like far as like updated photos of my
Yeah,
work,
updated photos and stuff like that.
what's behind.
Yeah,
Okay.
great question. Follow-up questions.
So this app that you're on or software, this is strictly for Instagram, for planning?
This is business Facebook. This is the actual business Facebook. This is just making an audience.
Oh no, what is called?
Planoly. No,
Yeah.
but this isn't Planoly. Can you see?
Oh.
This is actually Facebook business. This is audiences on the Facebook business.
Oh, I always see that tab. I never click it. Okay.
Yeah, they're actually making an intended audience. So for people who are in there, you go to tools, and then you go to audiences, you click audience, create audience. If you do a Facebook pixel, you can do a lookalike audience. So what that means is Vanessa likes my stuff. I can create an audience of people who fit Vanessa's description to get in front of Vanessa, because if Vanessa likes me, other people like Vanessa will like me too. But you can do a custom audience with people who, like your videos. You hit that. And then you say, I want to work with people who watch 95% of this video. and then I find a video. Well, I go to my Instagram and then I find a video that people really interacted with.
So you just make up these videos yourself,
Yeah, these are videos on my page.
oh, okay.
Yeah. So like, here's one that kind of went viral, where 1,400 people saw it. Well, actually, more people saw that, but 1,400 people, I guess, watched it like from my page. So I would use that.
That's good.
Other questions?
Going back to the ads, how often do you run ads? Or how often do you recommend? I know
3
you
months.
say
Every
3 a
month.
month.
Every single month.
Mhm.
But there's a reason behind it, right? So sometimes I literally just want you to go on my website so I can catch you on my pixel. Sometimes I just want you to see something new on my website.
Because I don't run no more than $20 for an ad. So, but if I
That's
increase that amount,
3 hours a day or $20 total.
total.
So here's the thing. If I had $20, I would run it to have people like my page, so that I can then share other content with them in hopes that I can maybe get somebody.
No,
I
But I
would
need
spend
to
$20
post
to
more.
have somebody book a consultation with me, because it's not, I'm not going to get enough aggregate data to be able to determine if it was good or not. And then
No.
you're just going to be frustrated, like, man, I spent $20 and it didn't happen. Well, you know, with the $20, like, you know, you got to be intentional what it is that you're trying to get out of it. So like that $100 ad, like my goal was, all right, so if my headshot session was going to cost, it was a 15-minute headshot session for $100. If my headshot session was going to cost $100, if I can get one person to book that headshot session, it's fine, because it would balance out. But at least at a minimum, I know that other people interacting, I can then make an aggregate piece of information or content based on that, and then reposition it, because you can always retarget ads.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you just got to be, I hate using the word realistic, because I feel like everybody's realistic in their own like world, but you have to set expectations that mirror the outcome that you really can control. Like, if me and Chantrice sat down and talked about, I cannot guarantee Chantrice will get a booking from it. What I can guarantee is if she does the Google Pixel, if she does the Facebook Pixel, that if she has something that is visually appealing, people will click it, and she will be able to retarget those people later on.
I don't think I post enough. Well, I know I don't.
And that's the thing, and that's the other part of it, right? Right. So people like your stuff, they go to see it, like, oh, let me see. And then you ain't post since January. It's like, dang, like if she ain't posted since January, either one, two things. One, she's too busy. So she's too busy to take me on. Or two, she really not trying to do this business. So I'm gonna be afraid that she's gonna take my money and run.
Never looked at it like that.
I mean, really, I really is what it, and you know, for Vanessa, it's one of those things where you benefit from having a strong name and a strong network, right?
Sure.
So you may not need the Google base and client base. You know what I mean? But if you're trying to do that, you have to build those foundational elements. Like, you have to. You know, like me, like I'm not from here. I'm not from Maryland. I'm not from Harford County, right? So I had to be intentional in what it is I was doing, how I'm positioned, how I'm marketing, what kind of content I'm putting out, so people can visualize themselves in my work, and then in turn want to book.
And I definitely have to do more advertising and marketing, because I'm trying to reach like people all over in weddings. I'm not trying to reach one particular market. I feel like we're professionals that You know, like some people say, I'm looking for somebody who just do Indian weddings. I'm looking for somebody who just do African weddings. I don't know. Look, I'm a professional. I do all weddings. So
So-
I want to reach everybody, not just one group.
So yes, and so if that's what you want to do, one, you have to have content that speaks to that, right? So
Mhm.
then one of the things I talked about earlier is talking about events, right? So if you don't have an Indian wedding in your bank, you
Mhm.
then need to find a wedding planner and say, look, like I'm looking to book an Indian wedding. If you book this wedding for me, I'll give you 20% of whatever they to make them want to push your name out there to do it. So then you have the content to then run an advertisement for Indian weddings. Because I can tell you, those ethnic weddings, a lot of times, they don't book people that can't speak and deliver to that. Like I'll tell you, like I have nothing against certain ethnic groups, but if I know I can't, if I don't understand the formalities, where to be, how they do things, like I'm not gonna put myself out there for them to do damage.
All right. Well, I know, I think the reason I say that is when a client had approached and they were like, oh, you just do Black weddings. That's you're Black, so you just do Black weddings. And I'm like, Black people can do weddings of any ethnic group, just like a white person can, you know? It's like
But really, what are they saying?
professionals, we can do anybody.
So that's not what they're saying. I mean, you heard what you heard, right? But I heard something different when you said that. What I heard was, I don't see myself in your work. So then in turn, I can't make the investment of $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 and take the risk of not being able to have you deliver something that I've never seen.
Well, you know, the main thing that I find with when I have had white clients is that they'll say that Black people tend to not know how to do their coloring, their tones right. Now, I haven't had that issue because I've had several white clients, Jewish clients, Indian clients. I've had that, and I never had that complaint. They loved their pictures, but that was particular couple that had inquired about Black photographers. When they came with a mindset that Black photographers could not take pictures of them.
But here's the thing, but are there Black photographers who are putting out content that speaks to that demographic? Like me, like I'll tell you, I will not get my hair cut from somebody who doesn't have a beard.
Right.
My wife does hair. I love my wife. I don't know if I would trust her with my beard. You know what I'm saying? Like, has nothing to do with the skill set. Like, I know she's licensed. I know, like, all that. But if you don't have a beard, you know, the same way, like, I could sit there and kind of braid hair, but you wouldn't, like, if I don't have hair, you're not going to trust me to braid hair.
Well, when they saw the work,
right, then
and
it made them more
went,
comfortable.
they went, because like I said, I will post everything, Black, white, gay, it don't matter. I do everybody. And so, but it was just the fact, I guess, being in the photography business, and for someone to just say, oh, you only do Black people because you're Black. No.
Well, that's what they saw. That's probably which means that in turn, there's something internally that I'm doing that I need to shift in order to make them more comfortable.
Right.
So, but and I could stay up talking all night about this stuff. But I was asked to also share this. Starting in September, I'm going to do a small business masterclass. It's going to be a 4-week intensive where we talk about not just these 4 topics: establishing your brand identity, creating content with a call to action, more than just a reel, how to be able to take content that you have, make it a reel, and also put it on YouTube Shorts. Does everybody know why we look at YouTube Shorts?
No, can you explain that?
So
Oh,
just a
Is it short?
YouTube is connected to Google. Google is a search
Mm-hmm.
engine. So if you have the right metadata and information in your YouTube listing, it'll then show up as a Google result. And I know that to be true because I've booked multiple weddings based on that. And Vanessa, I'll give you this tidbit. The Cellar 2 is in not Towson, Parkville. It's a
Mhm.
small venue. A lot of people are tending to get married there. I put up 2 wedding videos: Cellar 2 wedding ceremony, Cellar 2 wedding highlight. Still gave it to the client as their name, but I did the same video and put it in YouTube. I got 2 wedding bookings because somebody looked up the Cellar 2, and in the search engine, the video came up. They watched the video, they saw my work, my contact information was in there, a description of the services that I provided was in there. It caused them to want to contact me and then book.
Okay, I have a question for you and the wedding planner, because I've had people to reach out for photography, but then say, do you know of a wedding planner? And not per se, not really being, like I said, my clients typically are word of mouth. They come to me and then they may say, oh, do you know a wedding planner or event planner? And I'm like, I don't, but is there a network or something that they can be referred to?
So how I do things, I establish relationships with different vendors.
Mhm.
That way so for instance, for my business, I have a preferred vendor list that I use for certain vendors, photographer, videographer, DJ, up lighting, different things like that. And I tend to have more than one just in case one is not available. I can call on this person, and pretty much how I don't do a lot of in-person marketing and things of that nature. I need to do more of that. That way, I can build more clientele, and it's all about who you know. And a lot of the vendors I have come in contact with, I met them at different events that I coordinate. Like I'm there to do balloons and maybe the planning for a baby shower, but it's already a DJ there, a videographer. So I get their card and I'll give them my card. Hey, I do events. If you ever need, your clients ever need events, here's my information. Can I take yours? Because I'm always looking for vendors, to promote to my clients and do it that way.
Because typically when I do weddings, if there's a DJ there, whatever, I will ask for their info. And a lot of times the event planners, I have their work because I photographed it. But I was just wondering, is there a specific network to send clients to when they ask? Because they've asked for makeup artists and everything. And I'm like, okay.
It's online different thing like directories and stuff like that, but I typically don't use it. I try to stay in the community.
away from
I'll
that.
research, I'll go to different events and I'll just grab cards, and I'll look up their work and maybe call them, to hire them and things like that for that. But I keep a personal directory, but I don't use anything online for that. I think it's like Wedding Wire or The Knot or something that lists like different vendors and stuff like that.
Typically, I keep a
What-
portfolio of cards, but I don't have a lot of event planners. But I do have like a lot of DJs, caterers, they'll quickly share their cards, so.
Well, definitely make sure you all connect. But the Wedding Wire, I would not recommend anybody doing that.
No, they call me so much to advertise. I'm like, no thanks.
Listen, look, I
They're ridiculous.
have so many fake leads I can't wait till this year is over. I literally can't wait.
They charge a lot of money to say that they'll put you out there, though.
You said what?
They charge a lot of money and tell people, oh, if you sign up with us or whatever, we'll make sure but you're sharing it with like 20, 30 different people for that spot.
Well, no, that and like I'll get fake, like I got a fake lead. Actually, hold on. So, as we begin to wrap up, I want to thank everybody for attending this evening. Hopefully the information and the tools and resources shared this evening are definitely beneficial to your business. I look forward to helping and watching you grow. And as always, thank you so very much.